"You're not happy, though," Mike said flatly. He stirred his coffee without looking up. "I don't think so, anyway." Ben fought the urge to sigh. For someone as terminally non-confrontational as his friend was, this was the equivalent of flipping a table. He had never once seen the man yell at anyone. If Mike was pushing back at all, he should listen. He looked at his plate. Half of his pancakes still remained, sprinkled with the sugar he used instead of maple syrup. Eve had referred to that as a crime against breakfast. It was one of the litany of incompatibilities that had led to her walking away. Probably not the main one, he reflected. "What do you think would make me happy?" he asked finally. He cut off a chunk of pancake with the side of his fork and stuffed it in his mouth. Why do you think about?" "I don't know what would make you happy," the other man said. "I'm not in your head, and I didn't understand the second question at all." Ben washed the mouthful of pancake down with weak coffee and winced at the heat. This diner, like many he had come across, apparently believed that if they made the coffee hot enough, no one would notice that it barely resembled the expected flavor. It was more like hot water someone had told about coffee, honestly. "I asked why you think I'm not happy," he said after pounding his chest. "I know you, remember?" Mike cut a piece of his omelet. "I know when you're not happy, and it's been 4 years. You used to be so fired up about using your degree, and now there are no jobs," he reminded him. "Remember that? The whole big economic crash? Too many people with advanced degrees?" "There aren't enough jobs," the man conceded when he had finished chewing. "But there's one for you." He snorted into his coffee. "You were the valedictorian," his friend told him. "Your professors loved you. They were falling all over themselves to write letters of recommendation for you. And you're seriously telling me you haven't found a single job opportunity in 4 years?" "I haven't been looking," he said. "Exactly. Look." Ben leaned forward. "I'm not going to take a job I hate merely for the chance to find a job I kind of like at some point while living in a shitty apartment with 3 other people." Mike sighed, leaned back, and rubbed his face. "I'm trying to help," he said finally. "You know that, right?" "And I don't want help," he said. "Ben." "What I want," he said, talking over him, "is to have a good climb before you go back to tiling bathrooms and painting walls and, I don't know, planting flowers. Whatever people do for weddings." It was a cheap shot, and he knew it. His friend was equally happy and scared to be settling down with Natasha, and he had promised to be good about it. "You would know what was going on," Mike said patiently, "if you ever came to game night. Or lived closer. Again, crappy job, crappy apartment. No thanks. Or you could read the emails I've sent you about it. If you intend to hop all over the world, you might at least be on Facebook or something." "Nope," Ben said unrepentantly. "First, many places don't have internet. Second, I don't have a camera. And third, I don't care what level so-and-so got to in Call of Duty or what someone else had for lunch. I want to live." "There are many ways to live, man." Mike was used to these tirades, so he took them in stride. He pulled the check to him and put cash down, waving Ben away. "Nah, I've got this one." "Don't you get all pitying with me. I'll find another job soon." "Ski instructor?" the man suggested. "After taking care of polar bears, nothing else with snow lives up." He pushed his way out of the booth, and they moved to the door. "Mountain tour guide? Wandering slowly up mountains at the pace of a diseased sloth? I think not. Cowboy? Now you're talking." Ben grinned as he picked his helmet up and settled it over his head. Their motorcycles were next to one another, both sets of panniers stuffed to the brim with camping and climbing gear. Today was their last stop before Mike returned to Boulder, and he headed to Denver to leave his motorcycle with his parents and decide where he would go next. The 2 men set off without further conversation. They both knew their destination, and the coffee was still kicking in. Their route wound through the foothills, and Ben streaked past a couple of 18-wheelers that engine-braked their descent with puffs of black smoke. The road began to rise more sharply.